Welcome back, creeps. This is I, your creepy uncle himself. A lot of you regular viewers will know that I was very late to starting Season 17 in Diablo 3. This is the Season of Nightmares, and it's potentially going to be the most interesting season that we've ever had. It's already looking really, really interesting. I'm several days behind. I just thought I'd do a quick video on my progress, and it turns out I regret being so far behind because what I actually did in order to sacrifice my time leveling up my character was probably the biggest mistake of my life. And I should have a vlog channel detailing all the mistakes that I make in my life. But anyway, without getting into too much detail about that, I did mention that I was going to play the Witch Doctor class this season. This is my Witch Doctor. This is Uncle Creepy. I've named him Uncle Creepy after the one and only Uncle Creepy, as you can see up there. And through Hodrick's caches here, Hodrick's gifts, whatever you want to call them, you get the Jade Harvester's set. And as you can see right now, I'm slowly progressing and trying to get certain items so I can stack it up with my Jade Harvester's set. And I've got my 6 pieces here: the helm, the chest, the shoulders, the gloves, the pants, and the boots. So having a look at the Jade Harvesters, the Jade Harvester set is basically a damage over time or dot effect, soul harvest, blowing up effect. So what I'm trying to say here without babbling on like an idiot, it's dot damage over time, and then you use your soul harvest to just blow that damage over time, and it just all explodes. So all the remaining damage that's supposed to happen just explodes at once, and that's pretty much how Jade Harvester works. So it's a damage over time soul harvest build is what I'm trying to say here. And very importantly, Lacumba's ornament here definitely helps with damage reduction. So we reduce all damage taken by 6% for each stack of soul harvest you have. Unfortunately, one of the critical items, the soul harvester dagger, I haven't had drop yet, and I need that desperately. Right now I've got wormwood, which is pretty nice too. What this does is Locust Swarm will continuously plague enemies around you. So see this little radius here? This is actually something handy you can probably put in Canai's Cube, and it saves you having to actually cast Locust Swarm, which, as you can see, you do that 3 times, you're out of mana. So Locust Swarm does cost a little bit of mana, but you can regenerate that with your Soul Harvest, and it's just, this helps big time. You don't have to cast your Locust Swarm at all. All enemies around you are affected by it, and I'm using piranhas with Piranado here to group up enemies. So anything grouped up, all I have to do is kind of circle around them, and that will affect them with Locust Swarm because of that radius. Same goes with Horrify here. It freezes enemies in place, increases our armor. I can run around, and then I can also apply piranhas. I can use them together, group up enemies, and then just run around, affect all the enemies by Locust Swarm, keep spamming Haunt, and then when they're all affected by Haunt and Locust Swarm, we just go boom, Soul Harvest, and that blows up everything. So basically all that damage over time, it just expels. Well, let's explain how it works actually by looking at the actual Jade Harvester set bonuses. So for 2 pieces, when Haunt lands on an enemy, for 2 pieces, let's try that again. When Haunt lands on an enemy already affected by Haunt, it instantly deals 3,500 seconds worth of Haunt damage. So spamming Haunt does all that extra damage. For 4 pieces, Soul Harvest gains the effect of every rune and has its cooldown reduced by 1 second every time you cast Haunt or Locust Swarm. So spamming Haunt reduces the time that we can actually do Soul Harvest again, and it activates all of the runes. So all of these babies are multiplied by 5 because 5 is the maximum amount of stacks we can get for Soul Harvest without the Soul Dagger. No, what's the dagger called? Sacred Harvester is the actual name of the dagger. So if we have that dagger equipped either in Canai's Cube or in our inventory slot, then we get 10 stacks of Soul Harvest, and then all those rune abilities multiplied by 10 instead of 5. So pretty nice there. And of course Spirit Walk here for mobility and walking through damage. Definitely handy there because this is quite a squishy build, especially now. Like Lacumba's braces there, Lacumba's ornament definitely help big time. But I haven't got my Traveler's Pledge with Compass Rose at the moment. I've got Focus and Restraint because that's just what's dropped. This isn't a planned build or anything. This is just a progression video to show you guys how I'm progressing, and I'm working on getting all the items that I need. I need definitely Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose, and then probably Unity for some damage reduction. I've got the Esoteric Alteration gem equipped for damage reduction. At the moment I've got Bane of the Powerful, but I'll change that. And Bane of the Trapped obviously is a go-to legendary gem for most builds these days. Other than that, I've got Hawaii Wrap, which Locust Swarm also slows enemies, but this is something I need to replace as well. It just happens that, you know, I'm playing the game as I go, so whatever drops, I'm kind of just mixing and matching items as I go, because I haven't had that many good luck with drops at the moment. So I'm just kind of, as you know, you work with what you get and you just kind of progress through there. Like, I got 2 pieces of Jade Harvesters very early on, and at that stage I wasn't using Haunt, but because I got those 2 items, I equipped them and then started using Haunt. So you just use items as they become available, and eventually I do want to do a proper Legacy of Nightmares ring set build. So there's some really popular ones at the moment, and they're just killing the leaderboards. But first of all, I'm going to do Jade Harvesters, and I definitely will do a proper build video once I get all the items that I need, and I'll update that. It is pretty good, but it's just not quite as powerful on the leaderboards as some of these LON Legacy of Nightmare build variations that are happening at the moment. It's going to be such a fun season. I can't wait to get my items, play the Jade Harvester, and then experiment with different types of variations with the LON Legacy of Nightmares set, taking full advantage of the damage increase multipliers and damage reduction. So that's pretty much it. And Can Ice Cube, I haven't got anything equipped there at the moment because I just haven't had any luck with decent items at the moment, but we're getting there. Like, this is pretty decent. I can easily do Torment 10, but it is quite squishy at the moment. So for my example, I'll probably do like a Torment 8 or 9 Greater Rift, but I have done 10 and 11, but I do, because it's so squishy, you can die, and I want to make like a pretty quick example gameplay video to show y'all. So just a quick progression video here, my boys and girls, my creepy ones. Let's have some fun and play through Greater Rift. We'll go, yeah, level 40, Torment 9. Alright, we're in. I don't really like this map that much, but let's just go on in. So we haunt, and make sure you get your Soul Harvest stacks up as soon as possible. That gives us damage reduction, speed increases, and all that juicy stuff. And you pretty much just spam Haunt, use your Piranhas, your Horrify, group up your enemies, and then bang, use your Soul Harvest to blow them all up. Make sure you kind of just run around through enemies or around them, because we've got that radius from Wormwood, and that will inflict that Locust Swarm. I went blank there. Locust Swarm. I nearly forgot what it was called. It'll inflict Locust Swarm and cast it upon enemies, so that way we just spam Haunt, group them up with Piranhas and Horrify, and then boom, like this, they all melt away. Otherwise, it wouldn't be too much of an issue. Once I get my Sacred Harvester dagger and some other items that I need, I probably will have to ditch Wormwood, and it's fine. Like, you can still like group up your enemies and then just cast your Locust Swarm, but like this makes it a hell of a lot easier. It's just one skill you can completely forget about, and just spam your Haunt, and that will decrease the cooldown of your Soul Harvest as well. So it's pretty nice, and I was pretty lucky to get this staff actually so early on, so it does help quite a bit. It won't help as much as the Sacred Harvester though. Definitely need that so we can get 10 stacks of Soul Harvest. Let's go. Wrong way. I really hate this map. I was hoping for a nice outdoorsy map, but we'll have to play the hand that we're dealt right here, just like in poker. It can be a bit difficult to get used to a build like this, because it is a damage over time build, It's definitely squishy, but you definitely have to use your Spirit Walk and your Piranhas, your Horrify, to really avoid as much damage as possible. And I didn't go through passives, I forgot about that, but this isn't a build video. I'll go through the proper build in depth really soon once I get all the items I need. But I'm using Spirit Vessel, which will give us sort of it'll save our life when we're about to take damage that will kill us. Sorry, I'm just trying to concentrate here. But Sacred Harvester definitely will give us even more survivability. Plus, I'm probably going to go with Unity once I get it to drop, and then I'll equip it on the follower, so that'll be a further 50% I think damage increase, unless they've changed the stats on Unity. It's a pretty cool, fun build though. I'm having an absolute ball with this so far. It's still early days for me. I'm in catch-up mode right now. Stupidly enough, I wasted several days of my life for nothing. But hey, we all make mistakes, we learn from it, we move on. This is here's to a new season and new beginnings. I love Spirit Walk so much. Great skill. I use it a lot just for speed increases as well. Hey, what was... Do you reckon this is the right way? What I have a feeling we're going to get trapped. No, yeah, no, it is the right way. Ooh, pylon, pylon, pylon. Oh! We got the power. I have the power. Ooh, I see an elite. Oh, get out of those explosions, that would kill us for sure. Piranhas and Horrify really go well together. Just group them up, group up your enemies with your Piranhas like that. Horrify to reduce any damage once they start damaging you. You don't have to worry about Locust Swarm. See, I remembered the name of the skill that time, Locust Swarm, because we got that Wormwood Staff. So anything around us in that radius instantly is affected by it. We'll just keep spamming Haunt, basically. And then, bang! Soul Harvest, and that'll just explode and kill everything. A cheeky little shield pylon there. I'm so sorry that we got this god-awful map, people. I just don't have time today to try and find the perfect map. Still need to go to work and deal with IRL stuff in real life issues. But I am looking forward to the weekend. Probably play a lot of Diablo 3, do some stuff around the house, go out and party, listen to some bands. And for those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, check out my Instagram page. I usually do update my stories quite a lot when I'm out and about and listening to bands, watching bands live. So you can see all the stuff that I get up to outside of Diablo 3 and outside of YouTube. Alright, we're nearly there now. Rift Guardian should pop now. And Rift Guardian is so easy because Haunt is just so overpowered. When it's a single target, it just multiplies its damage so much, and that's it. Like, just obliterates, you know, a single target like that. So as you can see, the Rift Guardian had no chance. So this is definitely going to be a good build and a good variation to push some higher, greater rifts, especially because of the once you can get your survivability up and you're surviving and getting through the packs and the mobs up to the Rift Guardian. Once the Rift Guardian pops, that's the easy part for this. In other variations and other builds of other classes, like sometimes the Rift Guardian's the hard part. But in this case, it's just the super easy one. So if you can get through everything else and get the Rift Guardian to pop, you don't have to waste a whole bunch of time trying to down him, because it's that easy. I will keep you updated. Thank you for joining me on this progression video. I have gone with the Witch Doctor class this season. I hope you're all having a ball this season. Let me know how you're going in the comments down below. I am behind right now, but I promise I'll catch up to you.